There is a moment most people never notice, yet it shapes their entire financial life. It happens after the work is done, after the value is created, after the effort is spent. This moment determines who benefits, who waits, and who is quietly excluded. It is not about how money is made. It is about how money is distributed. The illusion of fairness. Daniel believed the system was fair because it appeared orderly. He worked, he was paid, and the transaction felt complete. The numbers arrived on schedule, the statements were clean, and nothing seemed arbitrary. But over time, a quiet discomfort settled in. He noticed that effort did not translate evenly into reward, and that proximity, timing, and position mattered more than performance. The system looked neutral on the surface, but beneath it, decisions were being made long before Daniel ever entered the equation. Distribution does not announce itself. It hides behind policies, processes, and formulas that appear objective. Yet, every distribution system begins with a choice about who goes first, who gets priority, and who must wait. Those choices are rarely explained to the people affected by them. They are embedded silently into the structure. Who goes first? Daniel started paying attention to order. Not effort, not talent, but sequence. Who received money first, and who received what remained? He noticed that banks collected interest before borrowers reduced principal, that corporations paid shareholders before employees saw raises, and that governments secured their portion before individuals had access to what they earned. Money moved through a hierarchy, not a marketplace. Distribution favors position, not participation. Those closest to the source receive stability. Those further away receive volatility. The system does not reward fairness, it rewards placement. Daniel realized he had been competing inside a system whose outcomes were largely decided before his actions even mattered. The gatekeepers. Every distribution system has gatekeepers. They do not always look powerful, but they control flow. Payroll systems, pricing models, lending criteria, platform algorithms, and contractual terms all decide how value moves once it exists. These mechanisms are presented as neutral tools, yet each one embeds values and priorities. Daniel noticed that he did not negotiate his position within the system. He inherited it. His access to capital, credit, opportunity, and margin was defined by rules written without him in mind. He was not failing. He was receiving exactly what the system was designed to distribute to someone in his position. Scarcity by design. Scarcity is often framed as a natural condition, but Daniel began to see it as a manufactured outcome. Money was not scarce at the top of the distribution chain. It was scarce only after it passed through multiple layers of extraction. Each layer justified its share as necessary, efficient, or earned. By the time money reached Daniel, it had already fulfilled other priorities. Stability for institutions came first. Growth for owners came second. Risk mitigation came third. What remained was framed as compensation. The system did not ask whether this was sufficient. It assumed compliance. Behavioral controlled distribution shapes behavior more effectively than rules ever could. When people know they are last in line, they become compliant. They avoid risk, tolerate inefficiency, and accept unfavorable terms in exchange for predictability. The system does not need to threaten, it only needs to ration access. Daniel recognized that his financial decisions were guided by fear of exclusion. He stayed where he was not valued because distribution elsewhere felt uncertain. The system rewarded his patience with stability, not advancement. This was not accidental. It was behavioral design, the quiet winners. The greatest advantage in a distribution system is not wealth, but timing. Those who receive money early can deploy it, leverage it, and shape outcomes downstream. Those who receive money late must use it to survive, not to influence. The system quietly concentrates power by controlling when and how resources are released. Daniel saw that wealth did not accumulate through effort alone, but through repeated access to early distribution. This access was rarely advertised. It was granted through networks, ownership, and structural positioning. The system did not hide this. It simply did not explain it. Repositioning understanding distribution did not make Daniel angry. It made him precise. He stopped asking how to work harder and started asking how money moved before it reached him. He examined where value was pooled, where decisions were made, and where margins were extracted. He realized that improvement required repositioning, not rebellion. Repositioning did not mean abandoning discipline, it meant applying it differently. Daniel focused on reducing dependence on late-stage distribution and increasing exposure to earlier flows. He sought systems where value was allocated closer to creation, not consumption. The silent advantage. The system does not resist awareness, it relies on ignorance. Once Daniel understood distribution, he no longer personalized outcomes that were structural. He stopped measuring himself against narratives designed to obscure hierarchy. He became quieter, more observant, and less reactive. The invisible economy rewards those who understand not just how money is made, but how it is allocated. Distribution determines power, stability, and influence long before effort enters the picture. Those who see this do not complain. They reposition. Money does not flow evenly. It flows deliberately. And once you see the system that decides who receives first, you stop asking why effort feels insufficient. You understand that the real question was never how hard you worked, but where you stood when the money was handed out.